why Black Horn of Heaven is going to get limited in some way, or maybe errated, who knows, but I believe very firmly that Black Horn is going to get hit sometime within the near future. I'm going to go ahead and show you why I think that is. So first of all, on the ban list, I think it was September of 2013, I believe, Thunder King Ryo went from 2 to 1, which is the first time Thunder King has been limited, I believe. I could be mistaken, but that is the first time that I'm aware of that he has actually been limited. He was semi-limited for quite some time before that, and compulsory evacuation device on the same format went from 3 to 1. So it's pretty clear that Konami doesn't want things that just stop XYZs and synchros. They don't want them, incredibly prevalent in the game. But then we have Black Horn of Heaven, which does the same thing as those two cards, but better. And it just negates an inherent special summon for free. And if anybody is unaware of the differences, an inherent special summon is something like Cyber Dragon or Dark Armed, because they are not effects, they do not activate, they are summoning conditions. Whereas something like Abyss Megalo, Tragodia, Battle Fader, Gores, Call the Haunted, and Monster Reborn are all effects that activate, and because of that they cannot be negated with Thunder King Ryo or Blackhorn. So, because of all that, alright, what's it saying? Anyway, compulsory evacuation device was limited because people were returning synchros and XYZs and fusions and all kinds of things to the extra deck just for free. It was a 1-for-1, and they decided that needed to stop. So compulsory evacuation device was limited immediately. I mean, that had been going on for a long time, but they really thought that it was getting kind of ridiculous, so they went ahead and limited that. And Thunder King Ryo, same thing. I mean, it was a monster, so it was a little bit easier to get around. You knew it was coming, but it also stopped searches, so they figured it was time to go ahead and put Thunder King at 1, just because it often stunned whoever you were playing against, and they couldn't really do anything. So because of that, they put those two cards to 1. We have something that's been around for even longer, been around longer than Thunder King, but not quite as long as Compulse, is Black Horn of Heaven. And Black Horn of Heaven can stop Cyber Dragon, it can stop Dark Armed, BLS, Chaos Sorcerer, it can stop any Contact Fusion, any Synchro Summon, except for Star Eater, and any XYZ. So, because of that, people have started to use this, and it's at 3. And because it's at 3, like, let me show you one of my decks here. Where's the Evil Swarm? I main deck triple Blackhorn because I find it to be ridiculously broken. You can't respond to it except with a counter trap, so if we see more wiretapped being played, which, I don't know, is it? Oh, wiretap. But anyway, it's seeing a little bit of play, but not a ton. But if we see this being played more, and Dark Bribe is somewhat common, but those are the only two answers someone can have, and even if they had that answer, it was still a 1-for-1. In the case of Dark Bribe, you could draw 1. So it's just, I find it to be incredibly broken, and a lot of people at big events are either main decking them or side decking them in 2s or 3s. So let me see what else. Oh yeah, the one of the major reasons people use it and people love it is because Excite on Night exists, and if I was to use compulsory, the effect would still go off. My only real outs, because nobody uses Valor this format, Valor wouldn't, Valor definitely stops him dead in his tracks, but Fiendish Chain is the only answer people have anymore, and if they have Space Typhoon, it goes off anyway. So that doesn't really matter unless you've got double Fiendish, but you just use 2 Fiendishes on 1 monster. So, yeah. So, Black Horn of Heaven just completely kills Excite on Night. And not only that, but when we have Thunder King Ryo, compulsory, double, or triple Black Horn, warning, then we have Torrential and Bottomless. If you run all of those, I run all of these in one deck. I run all this. If you have all of that, and they get a summon through, it's because you let them. Because if you don't have one of these, I don't know what's wrong, but you should always have at least one of these at some point. And Bottomless and Solemn, are limited for the same reason as Compulse and Ryo, is because they would stop big summons, and even Bottomless and Warning could stop some smaller ones too. But the point is, I believe Blackhorn is going to go to 1 because, I mean, it's seeing a lot more play. Even off of the price alone, we can see that it's seeing a lot more play, and it's definitely really good and somewhat underestimated. But Blackhorn of Heaven is getting limited, folks. I can't say that dogmatically, but I am relatively certain that it'll get at least semi-limited, if not limited. So that's that, and I will see you all next time.